YouTube, back another video. So this is going to be part 2 of life as an indigo. So the first part I mostly covered, I want to say 1984 to 1994. So I'm going to cover, it was just totally an accident. Didn't intend it to be that way. I just ended the other video, and then after I realized, oh shoot, there's more stuff I could have added. So I'm gonna get to life, especially in 1995, 96, 97, and also I'm gonna start with stuff I forgot to cover, and you know. I forgot to cover in my first video. So I want to say 1992, 1993, third grade was when I started to struggle with school. I was just very hyperactive, and I just did not. Again, the whole thing with if I'm not interested in something, you're not going to get my attention. That was kind of it. But I wasn't struggling grades-wise. I was struggling with not being disruptive. So in the end, it was just nonsense to me. It kind of is, because I mean. Not to be a bad influence out there, but a lot of stuff you go on in school, 12 years of your lives, you don't utilize a lot of the stuff that you're required to learn in order to graduate. So yeah, technically it is, but the frustrations for me was my father. Like I said in the last video, he would have been so pissed because he bought all these encyclopedias and all these National Geographic magazines for me to read and excel in school, and I just never read them. Well, I did read them. Not all of them. I read, certain parts. And I'm going to get to that later because it was just pointless for me even reading them. But if you guys watch Dragon Ball Z, you know how Chi-Chi was with Gohan? He was trying to do that with me. He was trying to be like, he was like he was kind of like Goku and Chi-Chi fused together in a sense, because by then, and you guys that know me very well, there was no martial arts. There would be no me, martial arts and wrestling. So by then I started to finally get into wrestling, and then finally got to karate practices. So that was just something he would not let me quit, and I'm very grateful for it, because there was times where I wanted to quit. The part I'm not grateful for is my dad had a very he was so into me getting my education and excelling in school that the teacher, whatever was my superior, could do no wrong in his eyes. And that was a big disadvantage, because I'm gonna make a joke about all the stories where the teacher was having sex with students. How about, where were they at when I was a kid? But if that had transpired, And I tried to tell my dad. He would not believe that. He just, whatever the teacher did, um, no matter what. I was in a very lose situation. I could not win in that situation. So, and the other part would be annoying was if I had a friend over, he would, come in my room or while we're playing Super Nintendo. By the time Super Nintendo was out, and stop the games and would ask them, oh, do you know the five Great Lakes? Do you know the capital of this? Start asking them questions. And, for those that don't know, this is in Connecticut. I lived in Windsor, but I was still going to school in Hartford. The friends that was coming over were already in the Windsor school system because they had already, they had lived there longer. I had just moved. Was lucky enough to make friends. So they would, Windsor was a better school system. And they knew this stuff because their teachers taught them that. Same grade, don't get me wrong, but, the school I was at never knew, we never talked about the five Great Lakes and stuff like that. So, and I try to explain that to my dad. Oh, excuses. Pick up a book and read, and then, from third and fourth grade and fifth, oh, you know why this kid doesn't, your friends do go well in school because they pick up a book and read. Okay, well, guess what? When I picked up a book and read, no matter what I was reading, was not the curriculum we were doing in school. So I'm just reading something just to read, just to shut him up. And it was just the most frustrating thing. And I'm just like, why do I have to do this anyways? And like, I don't want to fit in the society norms. And he was just, him and the teachers were just trying to hold me down. And us Indigos were natural free spirits. And, me myself, when someone does that, tries to hold me down, it makes me want to rebel more. When I was dealing with Ernest, I was telling him, stop worrying about if I'm looking at conspiracy theories or not. Because when you do that, you make me want to do it, to start looking up. When I don't, when he wasn't bothering me about my beliefs in conspiracy theories, I actually wasn't looking him up. And then he started messing with me. Okay, well, now I feel like looking him up. And then he just didn't get that through his head. And the same thing. Or like with people with my hair, bothering me about oh, why don't you cut your hair? Guess what you just did? I'm going to keep it for an additional 5 months because you opened your mouth about it. That you make me want to rebel. You make me want to do it more. So so again, for those that know, it would not be me without wrestling and martial arts. And the early stages of life in the last video, Ninja Turtle Mania was at full circle, but I still had a love of martial arts after it started to die down. And of course, pro wrestling was, I was a fan of pro wrestling, and that's all I wanted was just wrestling, martial arts. It's, so, so eventually I passed elementary school. I shouldn't say eventually because, I had to wait for a year to, go through this grade, pass the grades, So on to middle school. Um, Sixth grade wasn't so bad. I struggled with science, which is funny because they say a lot of Indigos struggle with science and social studies. Those were the two subjects I sucked at, especially science. Social studies, I somehow managed to pass through getting a grade D, C, or B. Never an A, but I somehow managed that. But science, I did a little bit better when we started talking about space and the constellations, but of course, being an alien in my past life, extraterrestrial, of course I would start to excel when we start talking about space and planets. And then after that, I fell off again. And then at the end of the year, we started talking about, I think it was earth science or ecology, earth science, talking about the earth again. I started to excel, of course, since the New Age. Before I even was New Age, before I even knew what Indigo Child and Earth's Angels and all this stuff I'm talking about in this channel, before I knew any of that. But again, you start to piece together, when you look back and you meditate, you know about yourself, you start to piece together why you excel at certain things, and, so 7th grade hit. And I had a teacher that singled me out. Her name was Mrs. Clark. Gave me hell. And I wasn't like a bad kid, but for some reason she felt the need to pick on me. Let's just say I got a detention because I forgot to do a homework from another teacher. It wasn't even her assignment. Right? She gave me detention for that, which is all great because the detention, she had to do the detention at the same time as a study hall for a test. So that detention ended up being a study hall for a test that was coming up. So it worked out, but this still the utter ridiculousness of, that's not your business, and you're, so, or if someone, me and some other kid did the same thing, I get the more of a punishment. The other kid would get, don't do it again, but me, I get in trouble for it. I get, she showed the other kid mercy, but I was the only black kid in the class. I don't think that was the reason, or if it was, it just didn't dawn on me until the next year. I had another teacher, Miss Capaceras, but it's just crazy how there was just this mass implants of a structure and being a protective member of society, that they were really, and by this time, pro wrestling was on its best, like WCW. You guys remember the whole NWO thing was going on. Scott Hall, all right, rest in peace, and Kevin Nash went to WCW and started the whole NWO. The Luchadors, Psychosis. Guys that grew up with me knew was a big fan of Psychosis. Jushin Liger, Ultimate Dragon. Actually, they were bringing in the New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers in. It was like at this best time, so I was like really, but 7th grade, my grades were pretty good. I actually didn't fail science. I didn't fail anything. But still, the teacher was still picking on me. And even if I participated in class and wrote down, I would participate in her class and everything, and she would put on my progress report, doesn't take learning seriously, so then my dad reads that and he's thinking, so I was really at a, no-win situation. And then 8th grade happens, and Miss Cabaceras, now it's starting to dawn on me, maybe she's racist, because she has, again, I'm the only... Huh?
Everything's finished.
Okay, I'll just start blocking. So, sorry, I'm doing I'm at work. So I think she's racist. The kids that are probably watching this, that see this, they're probably saying no, but again, I was the only black person in the class. Would send me to another room for no reason. So I have reasons to believe she was racist. But couldn't go to my dad for support. Whatever the teacher says flies. It was really at a no-win situation. So that year, I got into 8th grade, and I'm like, I have to put up with this crap again, So I kind of just gave up, and then I started to question life and existence, like why am I here? There has to be something more than this, Like there has to be something more than just going to school and going to work, and and then I had my phases where I was taking martial arts serious or not, but I was very frustrated with that too, because we go to karate, and we barely did sparring. We all we did was forms and katas, and it bored the shit out of me. It was just so boring. We're talking a month would go by. You're thinking, okay, then this class we're going to. I would still come because I didn't want to miss a sparring class, or would never do grappling, And you're thinking, okay, we did this last time. There's no way we're not sparring or doing grappling, and go back there and we do forms and katas again. And I was just, oh my god, So I became very frustrated with life, and I started reading karate books. It was Inside Kung Fu magazine, and seeing all these techniques, these cool things that other schools are doing, and you just weren't doing them at Valari's. And so I was just 1998 was just not a good year for me. This life was seemingly crumbling. We had lost our car, and I was just really like, there's got to be something more than this. Just going to school, getting good grades, passing, and I would, for some reason, I don't know why, I would go home and I wouldn't even do my homework. I would just go home and just start sleeping. I don't know why. Just go home and just immediately go to bed. Would only wake up for Monday Nitro or Monday Night Raw. When wrestling came on, that was the only time I would wake up. And I would try to make up doing the homework in school, in study skills or something, or I would wake up or try to do the homework in the morning before the bus, and obviously that's not going to work. So school was definitely a struggle, especially being Indigo. What drove me nuts is when you hang out with kids that got better grades than you, and they just do the dumbest stuff, say the dumbest things, and you're just like, and they're perceived as smarter than you because they got better grades than you, and you're just like, how is this possible? Like, and then feeling alone because not only do you fit in, or not only do you not fit in, but other people, you're like, I'm pretty sure I'm in my class in Windsor. I was the only Indigo, apparently, because I have a friend that her kids are Indigos, and she's awake. She knows about spirituality, but her kids are Indigo, But again, I think I was the only one because we're talking to each other, and confirming that her son or her daughter is an Indigo, and I am too. So that means while growing up in school, I was the only one, and there's other friends that I hung out with during school, and they're awake. They know about New World Order and spirituality and stuff, but they weren't Indigos or other type of star children as well. So I was like, I felt very, very alone, being the only one, and in the entire town of Windsor, because I had friends much older, much younger, and no Indigos. I was, to my knowledge, of course, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, I have one friend that might have been an Indigo, but he doesn't fit he kind of is like, he goes from, okay, rebellious, and then he goes, okay, I want to be a part of society again, kind of thing. So, I don't think he's Indigo, but, like I said, Indigos are very free-spirited. That was a trait of me that, is a dead ringer. In school, everyone wore Tommy Hilfiger and FUBU. I was the only kid that didn't wear that stuff. I wore Arizona jeans from JCPenney. I always had something about me that was different from the rest. And, the only thing I did to follow the crowd was I started listening to hip-hop. Not that I didn't like it before. My favorite type of hip-hop is from the 80s up until the early 90s. Mainly the late 80s, early 90s, because they had more energy, rapping. 1993 happened and everything just slowed down, Guy that's energetic, like myself, needs that energetic music to go along with his energetic persona. The other day, my coworker was like, Ed, you radiate energy. Someone like that, I can't listen to slow, oh, the gangster's paradise, I'm not knocking the song, but you guys catch my drift here. But, like I said, most of the kids were wearing, the fashion was Tommy Hill, FUBU, and it blew my mind how people thought that there was a rumor about Tommy Hilfiger being racist, and the minorities were still wearing his stuff. Like, what? So, that's just, and I'm so with marching to beats my own drum, to the points where it's hard for me to respect people that are so willing to follow the crowd. It's just there's something about that that really irks me about people that are just so willingly following the crowd. Everyone else does it, so I'm going to do it too. Like, there's something I really don't like about that. So much not much more to say. But next, I'm probably going to do a part 3. I might as well, because I should cover the rest, from after staying back in 8th grade to the new era, and how being an Indigo affected my life. That life was like being an Indigo. But this was the staying back in 8th grade was like my. This is what set the tone of like my life purpose and what I wanted to be. That's when I started getting into fitness. I started, I'm thinking wrestling is real, by the way. So I'm at the basement, like, training, practicing drop kicks and suplexes and forward rolls, and what high risk maneuvers I was going to do, so this is when I started, really, devoting my time to that, and it was beneficial. Like, I started getting my first 6-pack abs. I wasn't trying to get it, but it was there, because I guess all the cardio I was doing. So that was a plus, and I think that's it for now. My lunch break is over, or almost over, and yeah. So I'll catch you guys later. Stay tuned for Being an Indigo Part 3, and I'll see you next time.